Imagine, if you could, a world of beauty, peace, and harmony. In this world, you knew your place. Food, water, and shelter were in great abundance, and the very presence of nature was evident in every leaf and every grain of sand. The cycles of life and death were common knowledge to all in the land, and the sole governing force, the only law of the land, was balance, an unspoken rule that guided your every action. Nothing was taken for granted, and every life was precious. Even in death you would serve a purpose greater than yourself. You would give back to the island that bore you. Now imagine that one day a deafening crash shook the very foundations of not only your home, but your understanding of the world around you, because with that crash came a new monster from an old world that was foreign to the ways of your world. These monsters came from the sea. Their intelligence and battle prowess were unmatched. With every single loss in their numbers, scores of your kind were slain. They were unstoppable and ruthless. They wore the hide of your fallen kin proudly, like badges proving that any who crossed their path could join the entourage. Death took on a new meaning, and the value of life was cheapened. These monsters had to be stopped. Their reign of terror ended. These new monsters are none other than the hunters of the Fifth Fleet. Now keep in mind that this is not so much a theory as it is an opportunity to adopt a different perspective. In order for us to truly comprehend mankind's impact on the new world, we need to comprehend four elements that occurred in the main narrative of Monster Hunter World. Firstly, we must understand the Elder Crossing phenomenon. Briefly summarized, the Elder Crossing is the journey an Elder Dragon takes to the new world to perish. In its death, the Elder Dragon releases large amounts of bioenergy and supercharges the ecosystem. This typically took place every century. The main premise of Monster Hunter World is actually investigating why the frequency of the Elder Crossing had changed from every century to every decade, and Zorah Magdaros served as the perfect reason to pursue this expedition. But why did the frequency increase? Were the Elder Dragons being lured to the island by Xeno'jiiva? Or were they simply paying tribute to their Elder Dragon god? Secondly, we must understand why Zorah Magdaros' Elder Crossing was so vastly different from the others preceding it. In the main narrative, it is quite evident that Zorah Magdaros' beeline to the Everstream was highly atypical behavior. It seemed hell-bent on tunneling its way through the island and releasing its energy in this highly critical area. Had Zorah released its bioenergy in the Everstream, the entire new world would be destroyed. Why didn't Zorah Magdaros wish to perish in the Rotten Vale? Was it because it was aware of an otherworldly presence hidden away in the Elder's recess? Was it trying to prevent the birth of a creature that perverted the cycle of the Elder Crossing for its own machinations? Thirdly, we must understand Nergigante's purpose and true nature. Although the Research Commission deems Nergigante as an Elder Dragon that feeds on Elder Dragons, it never ventures to understand why. A message during the loading screen alludes to Elder Dragons never successfully reaching the New World and completing their sojourn. Based on the information we learn about Nergigante, it's quite simple to deduce that Nergigante is the culprit. We first encounter Nergigante during one of our many attempts to divert the gargantuan Zorah Magdaros. Despite the fact that Nergigante allegedly feeds on Elder Dragons, its behavior during our introduction to this mysterious beast seems much more protective in nature, almost as if Nergigante was chauffeuring Zorah to the Everstream to release its bioenergy. Given the immense power and capabilities of the various types of known Elder Dragons in existence, it is difficult to simply accept that Zorah was just too cumbersome to intercept in its path to the new world. Nergigante has stopped giants before. Why was Zorah any different? Perhaps Nergigante was aware of two things. One, it was aware that the Elder Crossing was no longer taking its natural course, and was being affected by some unknown force, aka Xeno'jiiva. And two, it was also aware of Zorah's incalculable amount of bioenergy and the destructive results it would have if released in the Everstream. Was Nergigante simply trying to prevent Elder Dragons from sojourning to the New World to avoid fueling the insatiable appetite of Xeno'jiiva at any cost? Or was he simply enjoying the endless Elder Dragon buffet? Fourthly, we must understand Xeno'jiiva's presence in the New World, and what it signifies to the monsters. From the limited information provided to us in-game, we are certain that Xeno'jiiva is a unique monster born of pure energy. It is also evident that whether directly or indirectly, Xeno'jiiva is indeed the cause of the increased frequency of the Elder Crossing phenomenon. Is Xeno'jiiva the Sapphire Star, an Elder Dragon god that was born of the purest and most potent bioenergy? A god that would essentially wipe the slate clean upon its awakening? Or is Xeno'jiiva simply an alien creature that was using pheromones to lure Elder Dragons to the New World to absorb their energy and return to its true form, siphoning the purest form of energy from the New World and perverting it for its own uses? So now that we have considered these 4 critical elements of the main narrative of the New World, what is the common element in each of these? Well, the answer is simply mankind's interference with the natural course of things and deadly impact on the ecosystem. The Elder Crossing phenomenon was largely misunderstood until the Fifth Fleet's journey to the New World. On multiple occasions, the Research Commission sought out to either capture or just outright prevent Zora from completing its sojourn without fully understanding the reasons. After diverting Zora magnets from the Everstream, the ecosystem spirals into chaos. Imbalance runs rampant, and monsters of unknown strength unleash their powers unchecked. Nergigante then heads directly to the Elder's Recess in an attempt to destroy the remaining Elder Dragons to prevent them from unknowingly feed Xeno'jiiva. The A-Rank Hunter, in a separate journey to the Elder's Recess, systematically destroys Nergigante and all other Elder Dragons in the vicinity. Upon the discovery of Xeno'jiiva's lair, the A-Rank Hunter awakens and destroys Xeno'jiiva and returns to Astera. Now you may be asking, so how is mankind, how are the Hunters, the most deadly monsters of all? Well, the answer is simple. The Hunters of the Fifth Fleet disrupted an ecological phenomenon of massive proportions, upset the balance of the ecosystem, eradicated all Elder Dragons in the New World, and either slayed a god, the Scion of Balance, or killed an alien creature of unknown potential, all while being oblivious to the ramifications of their actions. A creature of this ignorance and unfathomable power is unquestionably the most deadly threat of all. A monster unaware that it is indeed a monster. A monster doomed to repeat history. You must understand where you came from to understand where you're headed. Knowledge of the past helps one forge their path to the future. Think about it. And until next time, it's the Inhuman One, signing out.